How do you get more energy? It's everything. Energy, isn't it? It gives you happiness. It gives you health. It gives you fitness. It gives you vitality. How do you get more energy? Are you tired? Are you sluggish? Are you irritable? Time to get more energy in your life. And today we're going to figure out how to do it. And I've brought in a friend of mine. He's a holistic nutritionist and he's a New York Times best-selling author. So he's very important, very big time. Yuri Elkaim. How are you, Yuri?
I'm doing great. How are you, James?
I'm doing terrific, Yuri. So tell us your story. Why do you have so much energy? Was there a time when you didn't have the energy? Like, why are you the person to tell us about this?
Sure. I think, most people in health get into health because they have their own issues to solve. So for me, it was growing up with digestive issues, asthma, really bad eczema, and really low energy. I would spend 10 hours a night sleeping, 2 hours after school falling asleep, having a nap. And I think about it, I'm like, wow, I'm spending half of my life sleeping. That's quite a lot of time. So I didn't really put all the pieces of the puzzle together until I was 17 when my hair started falling out. And as you can tell, I have no hair. And I basically developed an autoimmune condition called alopecia. And over the course of about 8 years, I started to look, sorry, that's my dog walking. I started to look into why was I suffering from all these issues? And I realized very quickly that my diet, the foods I was eating, were a huge contributing factor. So as I started to clean things up, it was almost like overnight, I started to feel a huge difference. Instead of sleeping 10 hours, I was now sleeping 6 to 7 easily, jumping out of bed in the morning and just having a lot more mental clarity and focus and kind of sustained energy throughout the day without sugar, without caffeine. And I just felt a whole lot better. And since that time, I've spent energy is really kind of like having more energy has really been my thing. And I've helped, hundreds of thousands of people around the world to improve their energy and vitality. And one of the things I tell people is energy is like your body's thermostat for your overall health. So if you're tired all the time, that's essentially your body telling you that something inside of your body is not working properly.
Right.
If you think about it, like when you're sick, if you're pregnant, you're usually fatigued and tired. And that's because you're either dealing with some kind of issue or you're growing another human being in your body, which requires a lot of energy. So I don't think a lot of people think of energy like that, but it is a very, very important sign and symptom to kind of clue into.
So if we're suffering from lack of energy and a lack of vitality, it's because of lifestyle choices a lot of the times, right? It's because of what we put in our mouth, whether it's food or alcohol. Yeah. People who quit alcohol for 30 days, they get so much more energy and so much more vitality just from eliminating that poison. But it really comes down to what we're putting in our mouth, right?
Pretty much. So in my book, The All Day Energy Diet, which became a New York Times bestseller, I have a number of different commandments of energy. And one of them is actually I'll talk about the diet stuff in a second, but one of the things too is with respect to our mind, like if we're constantly juggling 1,000 thoughts and we have so much on our mind, quote unquote, weighing us down, that's very draining. So anything you can do like meditation or just kind of clearing your mind, going out in nature and spending some time outdoors, that's all going to help your energy because when you clear your mind, it frees up your body, frees up your mind to just feel a bit better and more energized. So that's something that not a lot of people think about. I just wanted to mention that. But as it pertains to food, it really is. Like anything that's going to add toxicity into your body or anything that's going to lead to greater inflammation in your body or anything that's going to lead to more acid in your body. And by acid, I'm basically talking about pH balance, specifically in your blood, which is for the most part, the most important determinants of your health and how you feel. And unfortunately, your doctor is never going to tell you that because for whatever reason, it's just not kind of put out there, even though there's a lot of scientific research behind it. And the whole idea here is that you eat foods like a lot of animal products, sugar, processed grains, fast foods, they all contain nutrients, predominantly protein and phosphorus, that when they're broken down, they give off more protein and phosphorus than the alkaline minerals like calcium, potassium, magnesium. And as a result of that, they turn your blood slightly more acidic. Your blood needs to be slightly more alkaline in order for your body to receive the oxygen that it requires to produce energy. So without getting too technical here, the foods you eat have a direct impact on how you feel. So if you're eating a lot of those foods I mentioned, and not enough of the plant foods, the vegetables, the fruit, you're really going to feel lethargic. And it just so happens that by eating more vegetables, especially green ones, you reduce acidity in the body, raise the alkalinity, reduce inflammation, and reduce toxicity, which are three obviously things that we want to avoid if we want to improve our health and have more energy.
All right, so let's put this into a nice kind of 3 ways to get more energy here. Let's kind of frame it this way, and let's walk through these 3 ways. So what's the first way, Yuri?
So I'm going to give you the 3 simplest steps dietary wise. There's obviously other things you can do, but I'm going to give you the 3 simple things. First thing you can do is just have a green salad with whatever you want in it, assuming it's a vegetable, for lunch or dinner, in conjunction with whatever else you're eating. So I'm not going to say don't eat this, don't eat that, like most people do. I'm going to say continue doing what you're already doing, but just have a salad, a nice big salad on the side of that. Okay. So that's step number 1. I think everyone can do that. The second thing is, if you have a blender, make a green smoothie for your breakfast, or at least your pre-breakfast.
Right.
And the reason for that is because we're not getting enough fruits and vegetables in our diet in general. I mean, the recommendation is 5 to 10 servings. Most Americans are getting less than 2, and they count French fries as part of that.
Wow. Just to show you, I'm just going to, 1 second, I'm going to just move the camera around here, and you can see my kitchen. You can see my Vitamix blender.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I use that now. I actually used to have 6 eggs for breakfast and was a big protein guy, and the avocado and things like that. And I felt good, to be honest. I was working out in the gym and got muscles and felt terrific. But since I actually switched to having a green smoothie for breakfast, I put kale, spinach, chia seeds, some grass-fed butter, some coconut oil, and just a tiny little bit of fruit, like some blueberries or something like that. And I just feel so much better because I feel lighter and more energetic. It's not as fulfilling. I don't feel like full at the end of it. There's always part of me which is like, oh, I just want to eat a little bit more, but I have so much more energy and feel so much lighter because I've had a liquid green smoothie drink in the breakfast, as opposed to when I was having like the big paleo thing of eggs and bacon and some avocado, which, by the way, is all very good for you. But I was doing it like a lot of the times. But so anyway, I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because it's not to say that those are bad foods, because I eat those as well.
Yeah.
So you can have your green smoothie, and everything you just mentioned is awesome, and that's a great recipe right there. And if you want something more substantial afterwards, then go for it. But the whole idea is just do your best to get more greens into your diet. And I want to mention something about what you said. When you're eating, it's funny because I'm not a very muscular big guy. I'm kind of lean and fit and kind of light. And I've realized that there's a compromise because I've had a lot of guys who want to bulk up ask me about, how can I eat to have more energy? Mm-hmm. And the reality is that you cannot, in my opinion, in my experience, you cannot eat in a way that is going to pack on 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds of muscle and still feel great on a day-to-day basis. Because when you like infuse your body with that much food, that's a huge load for the digestive system to take on. And your digestion can suck up to 80% of your body's energy reserves. So if you think about Thanksgiving dinner, most people don't really feel like going for a run afterwards. And it's not because turkey has tryptophan, because it actually doesn't, or very little amounts of it, but it's because of the onslaught of food that your body's having to digest. So think about energy being equated to actually eating less. And here's another thing. I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting. So basically not eating for a day, just having water and stuff. It's counterintuitive, but the less you eat, the more energized you feel.
Yeah.
Until the point where if you have 30 days, obviously you're gonna feel pretty crummy. But again, because digestion is so labor intensive on your energy, the less burden you put on your stomach and that digestive system, the better off you're gonna feel. So starting off with a green smoothie, having a salad with lunch or dinner, really, really powerful. And then the third thing would be to just simply snack on, like if you are a snacker throughout the day, just, again, this is going to seem kind of cliche, but just take some cut up fruits and vegetables with you. Because if you have a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware full of like cut up apples and some celery and whatever other fruits that you like or anything else specifically you like within the plant kingdom, it's all going to add up, and it's going to make you feel so much better. You can throw in some walnuts, some almonds, some good proteins, some healthy fats in there, and it all makes a big difference, right? And it's not one meal, it's not one food that gives you more energy. It's the overall synergistic effect of your diet that does.
Right.
So think about what you're doing consistently, not just like one meal.
I mean, in a nutshell, we can sum this whole thing up. It's just eat more greens. It's eat more fruits and vegetables. I mean, more vegetables and fruits, because if fruits has got quite a lot of sugar in it as well, and if weight loss is your goal, then fruit's not really that great for you. But I would say it's just to sum it all up, just eat more greens, and that means like kale, spinach, chard, celery, broccoli, all those kind of things. And the best way that I found to get all the nutrients from those vegetables is to stick it in a blender. You know, I mean, that's what I do. I got that Vitamix. I was like, a year ago, I was like, oh, do I really want to spend $500 on a Vitamix? That's a lot of money. Like, am I really going to spend this on a damn blender? And I was going back and forth. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? And you know what? I ended up doing it, and it kind of stung. I was like, oh, it's a lot of money. But like, it's been the greatest thing that I've ever bought, because now it's so easy. I just throw all of these greens in there, and then I get a little bit of like protein powder as well to add to it, which helps with the flavor. I put some ginger in, I put some lemon in, because sometimes, like, I think the reason why people don't like green smoothies or they get put off it is because maybe they had one or they tried it once and it tasted terrible. But there are ways to make it taste amazing, especially if you put some of that ginger in, you put some of that lemon in.
That's the key. Is citrus really brings the flavor into the greens. Right. So if you just have like steamed kale by itself, it's going to taste like steamed kale.
Crap.
But there's a little bit of sea salt on there, some squeezed lemon. It's a whole other thing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so they're three great ways. So have a green salad for lunch or dinner, make a green smoothie for breakfast, and then snack on fruits and vegetables. That's it, right?
I mean, it doesn't have to be very complicated, you know?
It doesn't.
Like, I mean, I could make stuff up, but I'm like, it's really that simple.
James Swanwick here. Just a quick interruption to share some of the relationship breakthroughs that folks have been having inside of our Project 90 Stop Drinking process. Joe Worley from Michigan says, my wife has the real Joe back. Andrus from Minnesota says, I'm a better dad. Dave Kelly from Australia says, I feel so much more connected to friends, family, and colleagues. And Angela, also from Australia, says, I'm spending more time with my kids. So if improving your relationships is your motivation or one of your motivations for stopping drinking, and you would like some professional outside support, I invite you to go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90, watch the video, read some of the words on the page, learn about our process, and if it feels like it could be for you, you're welcome to schedule a free 15-minute complimentary call with one of our coaches. All right, let's get back to the episode. I eat paleo style, Yuri. So paleo is like you eat from the Paleolithic era. I love to eat meat. Yeah. I noticed that you didn't say here, stop eating meat. Are you a meat eater yourself? Yeah.
I mean, this morning I had eggs, bacon, and some gluten-free toast with peanut butter and some peanut butter and butter. Yeah.
So you're not saying, oh, everyone should give up meat or any of that kind of stuff, which I'm never going to give it up. Just frankly, I tried a week with no meat and it was fine, but I actually enjoy the texture and eating meat. But what I have done is I've doubled and sometimes tripled the amount of greens that I put into my body.
And that's the key. It's like I did the raw vegan thing for a couple months several years ago. I felt awesome, but then I was like, you know what? I don't think I can sustain this because I love food. So I love going out to restaurants and enjoying like a great burger or a steak or whatever. And I don't really feel that bad if I'm eating that stuff. And I mean, if it's a moral or ethical thing and you want to be vegan or vegetarian, that's your call. But from a health perspective, the research is pretty conclusive that eating a lot of meats can become problematic. Mm-hmm. But it's about moderation, right? So if you have meat a couple times a week, you know what? It's fine. If you're going to have eggs, they're going to have no impact on your cholesterol, so you don't have to worry about that. Great source, tons of vitamins in the yolk, great source of protein. And as you said, it's about getting more of the greens in or the veggies in to counteract some of the acidity and inflammatory properties in those animal products. But again, it's the problem becomes when you're not getting enough of the plant foods in conjunction with the animal products or the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking to Yuri Elkaim, who's the author of The All-Day Energy Diet, New York Times best-selling book. You can find it on Amazon. Make sure you go and check that out. Just before you go, Yuri, before we wrap this up, is there something else besides just what we put in our mouth that we can do to get more energy?
Yes. So think about energy through tranquility. So there's two ways of looking at this. You can go out and exercise and rev up your adrenaline and kind of get all that kind of euphoric type of feeling. You feel jazzed up for a little bit, and that's totally cool. But you have to do that intelligently. You can't do 7 days a week, high intensity. You'll kill your body. That's why pro athletes don't last beyond 35 for the most part. What you want to think about doing is, how do I energize myself by actually relaxing myself? And earlier I mentioned that like clearing your mind, getting all that clutter out of there is a very, very useful and powerful way to have more energy. So anything you can do to relax, like meditation, is massively powerful, and it's completely overlooked by people wanting more energy. There's a really interesting study that I talk about in the book, and I'll just kind of bring you the nutshell here. When people are stressed out, they tend to think of, I'm going to go to a boxing bag and beat the crap out of it, just kind of vent themselves. But the research shows that only elevates your testosterone and adrenaline even further, which makes the stressful situation even worse, as opposed to, I'm feeling tense, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling pissed off, let me go meditate for 10 minutes. And what that does is it completely decreases all of the stress hormone response, lowers testosterone to a normal level, and it actually makes you feel a little bit better afterwards. So you don't feel like killing somebody, but you actually feel like loving somebody.
What is the best way to meditate for 10 minutes? I've done a 10-day silent meditation called Vipassana, which was amazing, but no one's going to do that, right? And I'm not going to do it again, quite frankly. It was a great experience, but I'm not going to do it again. It was a one-time only thing. 10 minutes. What is the best way to do 10 minutes of meditation?
I don't think there's a right or wrong way to meditate. What I do is that when I get up in the morning at 5 a.m. and I write down in my gratitude journal, I write a whole page of what I'm grateful for. And then I meditate in kind of a two-phase process. So I meditate for the first 2 or 3 minutes in a way that relaxes my body. Sometimes I'll use audio, just kind of like some calming ocean sounds, or sometimes nothing at all. And I'll just kind of take my mind to a very relaxed state. So maybe I'll give myself a 3-second countdown where I'm following the numbers in my head visually and kind of giving myself something to focus on and clear my mind. And then I'll just kind of stay, or do my best to stay in that kind of clear mind, don't think about anything type of space. And some people spend a lot of time there, and that's amazing. And sometimes I have too. But what I do in the second phase of my 10 minutes is I'll then kind of use it as a visualization process where I'll express gratitude, kind of everything I wrote down in my gratitude journal. I'll then visualize that in my head. And then I'll kind of spend some time visualizing what I want my day to be like, what I want to have in my life and to experience. So it's kind of like a meditation / visualization process. And if you focus on the good and what you're grateful for, I mean, you just end up feeling 1,000 times better. So that's what I do. I'm not a trained yogi. I haven't done any kind of formal meditation training, but I really don't think there's a wrong way to do it. So it's just about spending a bit of quiet time, focus on your breath, and just kind of chill out for a bit.
I do exactly the same thing, Yuri. I wake up in the morning, I actually go into a physical gratitude diary that a mutual friend of ours actually created, a couple guys that we know. And it asked me the questions like, what are 3 things that you are grateful for? And I write them down. And then it says, what are 3 things that would make today great? And I write down 3 things, which has got me visualizing the day. And then it's, what are the other things? And then at the end of the day, I think it asked me, what were 3 things amazing about today? And what are 3 things that you could have done better? And just doing that will relax you. It will, that's a form of meditation in itself. And that will give you more energy throughout the day.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like what you focus on, you're going to feel. So if you want to focus on the crap, you're going to feel like crap. If you want to focus on, even if there's just 3 amazing or small things that happen in your day, just focus on those. And it's always a choice, right? We also have the choice to focus on this or that. And for whatever reason, we're just conditioned to tend to focus on a lot of the bad. So it does take a bit of time, but it's completely worth it because your life changes. I'm telling you, it's like the simplest and most powerful thing you can do.
Well, Yuri, thank you so much. This has been terrific. Very short, very sweet, but very powerful. Where can we find more about you?
Yeah, so you can check me out on my website, which is yurielkaim.com. So that's YURIELKAIM. And if you want more energy, you can always grab my book, All the Energy Diet. It's on Amazon and the bookstores, all those good places, and social media, all that good stuff. So, but I would say the blog is probably the kind of the hub.
Yuri, thank you so much. As always, I really appreciate your time. And to you, the viewer and the listener, go out there and have a green salad for lunch or dinner, make a green smoothie for breakfast, snack on fruits and vegetables, learn how to relax with meditation for 10 minutes, and make sure you get a gratitude diary, or you write down things that you are grateful for, and you will get so much more mental and physical energy in your life. It will be crazy. Catch you on the next one. James Swanwick here again. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I want to send you some free stuff. If you haven't yet got the Alcohol Freedom Formula, then you can get that at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. The YouTube channel is alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. I put out lots of educational videos on my Instagram page at James Swanwick. You can also find me on TikTok at James Swanwick. If this show has benefited you, I would so appreciate you leaving a review and giving it 5 stars. We have a 5-day no alcohol challenge, a 30-day no alcohol challenge. You can get details over at alcoholfreelifestyle.com. And if you would like to apply to be part of Project 90, which is our flagship process where you get a community, 7 coaching calls per week are available to you, a like-minded community, mostly folks in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, then you are welcome to apply. You can get all the details over at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/Project 90, and the details are in the show notes. Thank you again for listening. I will catch you on the next one.